So guys, there's quite a bit of new cars coming out from CES this year, so overall very exciting with the EV world. However, there are a few that just stands above the rest, and the ID.7 is exactly one of them. Alright, so I'm sure you guys have heard of the ID.4, and it's pretty much all over North America at the moment, and you guys can use this literally just like a Tesla Model 3. However, it isn't made to compete against the Model 3 exactly, and this is where the ID.7 comes in. Now, for Volkswagen, the ID.7 is going to be the exact competitor for the Tesla Model 3 just because of its shape and form. The sedan style is just perfect. But then now you also have all the features, and I'm just going to give you guys my opinion on it so far and how does it really compete with the Model 3, being that I've been in so many Model 3 by now. Now, when you compare it to the Model 3, I think it is a step above it just because it does have the modern feel as well as the traditional aspect of it, because it does have the big screen right in the middle there, but it also has the physical buttons. Now, when it comes to software and hardware, I do give Tesla props because they are a vertically integrated company, just like Apple, where everything from the top down is made by the company and they don't have to work against any other companies when they do release a new hardware. They will make their hardware and software work together, and this is where it stands out versus any other EV companies out there. Alright, now with just the consumer side, like you and I, if we compare them side by side, we really wouldn't know what vertical integration really is and what Tesla does and Volkswagen doesn't. But just the overall experience, I think that Volkswagen has it here just because they do have hardware specific to the needs of consumers, whereas Tesla puts a hardware in there that is really specific to what their future outlook is going to be. Now, what I'm talking about here is comparing the heated steering wheel versus, let's say, the radar system. The radar system is definitely more advanced than simply just the heated steering wheel that Volkswagen would put in. But when you compare them side by side, which one is a more consumer facing? And that is going to be the heated steering wheel. Now, I'm not going to say that the heated steering wheel is better on the Volkswagen or the Tesla because both of them do have it, but I'm talking more about the physical hardware. Tesla focuses on the hardware that makes full self-driving work in the future, whereas Volkswagen makes sure that whatever you're experiencing is being experienced right now, right in front of you. Alright, so now talking about the tech and hardware, let's go into the details of this ID.7 here. So the first thing that pops up really is the range, and definitely it's going to hit the spot here because this vehicle here can hit 700 kilometers on one charge. Now, when you compare it to a Model 3, you're going to get roughly about 500 to 550 kilometers on a full charge, whereas here you're getting 700 kilometers on a full charge. And I know a lot of you guys out there are going to say that it is not necessary because you're going to have to stop regardless for your bathroom breaks and food and whatnot, but who wouldn't want a longer range, especially in colder climates where that range gets cut in half just because of the weather. Alright, so comparing to the Model 3, and this is where I think the ID.7 has a leg up here, and this is the fact that there is no instrument cluster on a Model 3, and I wouldn't say this is a design choice by Elon. I think that they are trying to do this because of cost cutting, and that's my realistic thought, guys, because the Model S and X refresh still does have an instrument cluster. Now, years ago, a lot of people were asking for a head-up display or any kind of display in front of the Tesla, and Elon says that this is not required because the speedometer right next to you on the right side is more than enough, and a quick glance at it gives you all the views of whatever you need. However, I think this is real cost cutting because there is no money into building another car that does have the instrument cluster right in front. However, they do have higher margins with the Model S and Model X because there are higher paying customers out there, whereas the 3-in-Y being a mass market vehicle, they want to keep it as cheap as possible. And this is the differentiating factor between Volkswagen versus Tesla, because Volkswagen actually puts all those parts inside and they are putting a heads-up display with augmented reality. Now, it is going to have an instrument cluster, although it's going to be a very small instrument cluster right in between where the steering wheel has the view. So that's pretty interesting there, how they're displaying it. But they do have a head-up display that has augmented reality, and Mercedes has done this many times. If you guys want to see more about it, I do have videos in my playlist, or you guys can check it out on YouTube by just searching it up. But it literally shows you where to turn right in front of you while you're viewing it. I'm not sure really if this is a gimmick or if this is really useful to a lot of you guys, but it is there and you guys can definitely turn it off if you want to. Whereas in a Tesla Model 3, you don't even have an option. It's just completely blank up there. And of course, the view is much nicer because there's nothing blocking it. But if you take a look at Volkswagen's way of doing it, there is nothing blocking it either. So I don't know what Tesla's excuse really is here. And then going into more tech of the ID.7, there is quite a bit more features, but I will just highlight the few that I think is pretty important. And this is the 15-inch display right in the middle there, and that really competes with the Tesla. We're not sure how it performs right now, but of course, nothing beats the Tesla software, like I said, vertical integration. But if it's anything like the ID.4, it's going to be pretty good, so you guys won't have to worry about lag or anything. It's only going to get better from this point. And then on top of that, you have a digitally controlled air vent, just like the Tesla, which is pretty nice. We're pretty used to that now in the EVs. And then you have illuminated touch sliders, and then this is going to be all over the vehicle, but you can adjust how much illumination or ambient lighting in the car. So that's pretty awesome, and that is something not available in the Tesla Model 3 or Y just yet. So at the moment right now, it's all just concept, and this is not something that is out of the ordinary for a lot of vehicle companies out there. But when you talk about Volkswagen, most likely they are going to stick to their design concept. It's not like some of the newer brands out there that push out something really new as their concept car. But when it comes time to producing it and mass marketing it, it feels and looks a lot more tamed down just because they're unable to have manufacturing done for it. But yeah, take a look at all these shots from CES and let me know what you guys think. I think it's personally really nice. It's really great that a lot of EVs are coming out in 2023, so it gives more competition and for Tesla to step up their game a little bit. Now, the company says that the production version is going to be shown in the second quarter of 2023. So it's not going to be that much different than what was just shown at CES here, most likely. Maybe a couple exterior changes and maybe interior panel differences. But overall, I think this is what we're going to see on the roads very soon. Now, they say this is going to be available in late 2023 in the US and early 2024 in Canada. I'm not sure about the rest of the world, but most likely those are going to be the two places that launch first. Now, those are my overall thoughts of what it's like compared to a Tesla Model 3. I'm sure it competes with a lot of other sedans out there as well. But of course, a lot of companies are just referring to Tesla every time they want to refer to an EV competition. But as of right now, I think they have Tesla beat with all the features that consumers actually feel and see. Now, in terms of all the AI part of it, like self-driving, I don't think Volkswagen is there just yet. So keep that in mind. If you want your car to have lane keep assist or just simple radar cruise control, definitely is going to have it in this car, just like every other car that's being released right now. But in terms of just full self-driving, it's not likely going to come with this vehicle like if you picked up a Tesla. One thing to also note is this is not going to have any proprietary charging network, just like Tesla does. So it's going to be just like every other EV company out there. It's going to rely on the EA network and all other charging networks out there like PlugShare. So keep in mind that that's something you're going to have to deal with until a more stable charging network comes out from the manufacturer themselves. So there you guys have it. This is my opinion so far in terms of the vehicle itself versus the Tesla. Let me know what you guys think below, and if there is any benefits that the Tesla has as of right now, interior consumer facing wise, that the Volkswagen ID.7 does not have. Anyways guys, this should wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, you know what to do. This is John once again. Peace out.